Hi everyone, I wanted to make my own video tutorial on how to use Google Forms in the classroom, especially when you are creating exit slips or formative assessments of any type, quizzes, things of that nature. So I'm going to walk you through this. Once you get into Google, you're going to go to Google Apps, the little grid in the top right hand corner, and scroll on down to Forms. Now when Forms opens, there's going to be some templates available to you at the top of the screen. I have never used these before, but you are more than welcome to. Some are already pre-made for you for assessments and exit tickets. And there's even a blank quiz template. However, I've never used this one, and I'll kind of go over why, just because you can customize your own form that's going to best fit your classroom. So I like to start off with a blank form right here. And I've actually already created a form that I was going to use for this demonstration. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Once you open up a blank form, it's going to just have untitled up at the top left-hand corner over here. And so I renamed it test form since we're just testing this out. And this title over here is going to automatically populate over here on the main screen. So this would be the first thing that your students would see. And then down below here is going to have directions or other information, or I'm sorry, it says description. And so this is where I would normally type out my instructions. Then you're going to notice the first thing I'll say is question 1, but you're not going to type in your question here first. You're going to actually put in a place for students to type in their first name. And then it will automatically populate to a short answer. However, this drop-down box gives you all sorts of different options of what type of an answer or response you want your students to have. So short answer for their first name, and then always hit required over here. That's huge. I wish it would just be automatically selected on required, but that's not how it goes. So you always have to hit required after each question. Then once you've done that, you're going to hit this plus button to add another question, which will give another series of just the same type of information as the first box. But here we're going to type in their last name. And again, it will start to go to short answer, hit your required button, and continue on. Next recommendation I have for you is to label your hours or classes if you're in the secondary classroom and you have multiple hours. It just kind of helps organize everything for you when it comes time for grading, which is another tip I'll show in just a moment. And then once you start with your questions, you're going to, sorry about that, your questions are going to go right here, just type those out, and then again you can select from your drop-down box what type of response you would like. And again, always hit required button. And you can continue to add options if you need to down below, and you can just carry on and on. Once you stop, it won't show up. So this right here, this bubble, will not be seen when your students open up their Google form. As well, you can insert images and pictures. So for instance, right here at this question, if you just kind of hover on it, this little icon, the image icon, is going to pop up, and you can upload a picture from your computer, or you can even do a search to type in anything that you need to put in there. Maybe it's related to that question. And so I selected a bear to go in right here, and then again you can list your options. So that's nice that you can add pictures. Or you can even provide images as your answer itself. So right here under option 1, there we go. I must not be showing because it's already listed there. Sorry about that. Here we go. Under option 1, there it is. Over off to the far right hand side. In your response, you can add an image. So I would go to search and type in triangle. And I'll just select this one. And there it is. And then option 2, I could add a different shape. I'll select this one because it looks similar. And there you go. And you can continue on if you need to. And again, always make sure that you hit that required button. Otherwise, your students can just bypass that question and then the grading will get messed up. So once you have created a Google form for some type of a quiz or just an exit slip, then you're going to click on Send. And then I like to click on Link. When you highlight this link and hit Copy, you can go ahead and open up a new tab for a QR generator, QR code generator. This one's called QRstuff.com. I like this site because it's free. Some of the others might have like a week-long trial, things of that nature, but this one has stayed free for a while. There are other websites that are no longer working that I used to use, so this is now my new favorite. Now that I have that link copied, I'm going to go right here and paste that link. It was a website URL. There's our link. And then it automatically has created the QR code preview right here. You can choose to download this QR code if you want to, or what I like to do in class is I will right-click on the QR code, hit Copy Image, and then I like to open up Google Slides. And in Google Slides, I will just paste that QR code, make it nice and big, and then when it comes time for class, say Test Form QR as my title, then in class, if my students have an iPad or if they are bring your own devices or if they can use their phones, then using a QR reader, they will be able to just scan this when I present it. All they'll see up on my screen is this. They'll scan it and then they'll fill out all the information and hit Submit. All right. At this time, I'm sorry, I had to back up for a second. At this time, when the QR code is up, before you actually present it to your students, you will need to complete the Google form yourself. When you're completing the Google form, under first name, I would type in the word answer, and under last name, I would type in the word key, and then you fill out the correct responses. Your students will not be able to see this. However, it's critical that you have this answer key for a grading tool. So, once all of your students have responded, look at this, it's magical. I have responded once as a student and once for an answer key. So your responses, now all of a sudden you're going to start to see this number increase. Go ahead and open up the Google Sheets icon right there. And you're going to see the timestamps of when these were entered. First one, there we go. This one's going to be like our student. And then you're going to have an answer key submission. That's going to be you, the teacher. Once you have information in here, you can go to Add-ons, Flubaroo, and there's first, once you open this up, it's going to say Enable Flubaroo. You're going to click on that button first. After you click Enable Flubaroo, it's going to pop up a notification saying it's active. Then you will re-click Add-ons again, go back to Flubaroo here, and click Grade Assignment. When you are going to grade your assignment, you have to select which answer is the answer key or which response is the answer key, and how do you want to grade all these responses in here. So sometimes it might miss an identifier and say, whoop, this is actually normal grading. But that's not a normal grading question. It's just going to be an identifier. Normal grading just gives 1 point per question. And that looks good to me. Continue. And then this is where you're going to select which response should be used as the answer key. So this is how everything else is going to be graded from. This is why it's important that you when you scan the QR code yourself, when you take that exit slip, or if it's not really an exit slip, but a quiz, you name it answer and key, because then you can easily select which one's your answer key and continue. And it's now complete. All right, you can just X out of here, and for each name, it's going to tell you their total points they received and their percentage. This is how I like to do a lot of my quick quizzes, little pop quizzes. It is convenient. I don't recommend this for more summative assessments because you need to be incorporating higher levels of thinking other than just multiple choice questions. And then having short answer responses make it a little bit more cumbersome to grade because you have to go and select each student's response and provide its own grade. So these are great for multiple choice and exit slips. And then I believe, yep, there it is, under Flubaroo, you can then share grades with all the students. When it says share grades, they have to have an email address before opening up that Google form, and then it's going to share with that email that they're signed up with. They're going to get an email with their responses, and you can choose to include the answer key if you want to so that they can learn from their mistakes. There we go. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching.